Evening guys, how are we doing? Welcome to Just Trains TV. For the first time we're coming to you actually from YouTube, Twitch and Facebook. So wherever you are, thank you very much for joining us. It's in a way of changing things up a little bit, making it a bit more exciting, trying to get our name out there to more people, show everyone out there more of our stuff. Of course you'll see stuff on our website and of course on Facebook and all that via like pictures and stuff like that, but not everyone, of course, uses Twitch, so we thought we'd bring it to more platforms and hopefully get a lot more people on board. So, tonight's stream, we are on another driving theme stream. I will sort of cover the sort of plan as well for the next couple of weeks of what we've sort of got planned in, and hopefully it'll be something for everyone. So tonight we are doing the Voyager. So we're on the Voyager Advanced 2019 pack, which is on the DTG Brighton mainline route. It's one of the scenarios that comes with the pack, which uses this route. So please bear in mind that the route does not come with this pack. We are focusing on the train. It just happens that we're driving on this route. Second up, on our other half of the stream, we have the Derwent Valley and DNL line combined, which are part of the Sheffield to Derby MML range. We're going to be doing a Matlock service which starts at Nottingham, and that's a stopping passenger service, so we'll give you guys a showing of that as well. It's been a while since we've done the Derwent line actually as well, so it's nice to go and have a little drive down there. So it's all a bit different here because I'm using different software, so obviously I'm going to see everyone's chat all in one place. So as you are typing, I will do my very best to keep up with it. It's going to be a bit more, hopefully a bit more busier than usual. So this is the aim of it all. We're trying to make it nice and busy. So I can see that Stu Harris is here. Good evening, Stu. Nigel's here as well. I can see that. Good evening. Auto Slap Express. Good evening. Willow. Good evening. And anyone else, if you're just having a lurk, that's all good. Thank you very much for popping in anyway. Also, in conjunction with our Voyager showing this evening, the Voyager Advanced 2019 is on offer. It's on offer now until this coming Friday at 5 PM. So you can get the pack. It's down from £21.99. It's now £14.99 in English pounds. You can also get it for €18.95 or $22.99, depending on your currencies. So again, if you are on Twitch, you'll see these pop up. I don't know how Nightbot works. I don't think the Nightbot messages are coming through onto YouTube and Facebook because it's just the way the bot works, so some stuff may not feed through. If it does, that's fantastic. Let me know if you do see it on Facebook and YouTube, because that'd be brilliant if you can see that. If not a problem. I'll be covering it anyway. So round night, good evening. Drum Bang as well, and Bartus Chris, good evening. And also, Nigel, you bought the GT Advanced Voyager before 2019. Basically, if you've already got it and you haven't done, go and re-download the pack. It'll update itself. It's a updated set of textures and other bits and pieces as well. But other than that, it'll all work as it does. So yeah, it's just a nice update on the pack, really. It just gives it a nice refreshment. Right, so let's just get the game on pause. Right, there we go. Right, hello driver, press T to load and then set up your cab. Ready for the departure of 1422. Right, so T to unlock that. So, for anyone that hasn't used this before and just wants to sort of know how things work, I'll sort of walk you through how to set up as well. So, drive key in. You can do that also with Shift and W, or you can drag it over. Then you're going to put your reverser to neutral, cancel the ADRS with Q, or you can press the plunger if you want to do it that way, wherever the plunger is, it's over it. Back into forwards, and I select the DSD just so it doesn't keep going up. Right, I'm just responding to Scott because we're sort of trialing it all here as well, so I'm just making sure all's alright. So if I do go quiet for a second, it's just because I'm responding to Scott as well. That's on a separate chat. Right, so we've got them on. The wipers are on intermittent. We need some headlights and instrument lights, so those are the instrument lights there. Headlights are over here, so we're going to put them onto day mode. We've cancelled the DSD. You don't have to, but I just have it off after so long. Right, that's that. We just need to set our destination up. So Control and F12. This is one we do get asked of quite a lot. So it's just Control and F12, or Control Shift F12 brings it back again. So we're going Birmingham on this run. The briefing as well is drive the last ever cross-country service from Brighton to Birmingham using cross countries 220021 on the 1430 to Birmingham New Street. Right away driving, next stop is Gatwick Airport at 1450 and departing at 52. Right, so DJ Step Attack, good evening. D McGregor, hi. So are we planning to extend the Midland Main Line to Mansfield? There's no plans at the moment to head towards Mansfield. However, there is obviously plans, and the route hasn't finished yet. As we did state on our Facebook post a bit back, the route hasn't finished. There is more places to go with it. Of course, the current one, which is in development, being the Hope Valley Line. And as well, Anthony Wright, good evening. The progress is good. We will, of course, have more pictures to show off soon enough on the in developments page on our website and via Facebook as well. But yeah, the project's going well. It's not one I'm involved with. That's involved with another developer. But yeah, he's doing a brilliant job so far. Some of the pictures I've seen, it was really nice. Look forward to getting on the stream. Hopefully, maybe later in the year, if we get to a good stage where we can start getting it in on here and do some little snippets of it, that'd be nice. So, as with everything, of course, Southwestern Expressways is another one we're working with as well. So, we'll be doing some more stuff with that again soon enough. Alright, so up to 40 miles per hour. So it's a bit of a rainy one, this. It sort of transitions out in and out of rain, and then it does stop a bit as well. It's a bit foggy as well. So it's quite an atmospheric run. So I'm just sort of not going too much with the power at the minute because we're still in the 40 mile an hour section. Opens up to 75 at the moment. Northern English Geezer, good evening, how are you doing? As well, guys, hopefully the stream's all coming through alright with you. We've upped the quality as well. Hopefully it should be a lot more clearer than some of the previous streams we've done in the past. I've managed to up it to 1080 and it was running alright in our tests, so fingers crossed it's all behaving itself and everything. Again, if there is any sort of issues that you can sort of see, do let us know, because we can take note of these and we can do some more tweaking. Again, this is quite a new thing for us, doing it over 3 streams, so we're wanting to hope that it's working as best as possible and giving you guys the best sort of viewing as possible as well. I've turned posh. I've got my Radio 4 voice on. It's a Monday. How are we doing, APT? We've got 1080p at YouTube. That's brilliant. That's good to hear. It's working as we planned them. Yes, we've also changed up with a new border, so you'll see that that's there, and it'll also tell you in the corners of the screen who's going to be streaming on the night. So of course it should have my name under there tonight. As I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, there's going to be a bit more of a change up. So there'll be co-hosts as well, and I believe next week it'll be myself and Will. So Will's going to be co-hosting. So Will be here answering questions as well, and any stuff that you may want to ask him, he will be able to help you out as well. And I think the third week, Will's planning to do a stream himself. He's going to be doing some asset development. So do look. So we've still got yellows at the moment. If we go quiet, don't worry, nothing's bad. I'm just making sure everything's alright on the chat as well, because there's our in sort of side of JT stuff to make sure all's right. So yeah, as I say, with the border, that'll change. So when we have co-hosts, there'll be different names in different corners and webcams and stuff like that as well. So Will be on with his webcam and new green screen. Dean McGregor, so the JT Common Library is a godsend when creating routes. I agree, because I use it on my personal stuff as well. All the extra assets you get to play with is a breath of fresh air. How many extra unique assets are available per route on average? So if you enable a specific route, so for example, if you're using stuff like Midland Mainline routes, they're coming with at least 100 to 150 assets at least, as well. So you could have more than that. It's a lot. There is a lot. Ice LT 76, thank you very much for the follow. Good evening. Yeah, you get a wealth. Depends on what routes you use. If you're using the newer routes, you do get a lot more. Such like the Met line and stuff like that. You'll have a lot of custom to that route, but then the Common Library comes with all the routes as well. So we're just watching these yellow signals at the minute. I'm not overly powering it on the acceleration at the minute. We have a service ahead of us. DJ, excellent. Glad to hear you're enjoying the pack, and as well, thank you for supporting. The sound of jointed track inside the cabin does not sound. At least the sound doesn't appear to me both inside and outside. It might be possible that it could be down to the track used on the route. I'm not overly sure on that. Still on yellow, so we'll keep it at 70 miles an hour. James, good evening. Very well. Hope you're well as well. So the fancy chat thing I've got, it all comes up on one screen, so it tells me who's where, so where the chat comes from. And you guys should be able to see a good majority of the chat as well. There's one thing I think with Facebook, it may not out. I think it outputs something that doesn't come out. But so if you see me respond to someone you can't see it, don't be alarmed. We're just waiting for Restream to implement, hopefully down the line. Still on double yellows. Sorry to hear that, DJ, as well. Again, it's something we'll bear in mind and we can take the feedback on board, and you never know down the line. We never say never. Editing Mass, hey up. Good evening. Hope you're well. I think we're still on doubles. Looks like a double. It's hard to tell with the fog. So on this service, we are going via Three Bridges, platform 4. We're going to pick up at Gatwick Airport, and then we're going to pick up at our last place, which will be East Croydon. So 33 miles away on this run. We also have our NRN test.
Welcome to the remote radio test unit. Please leave your message after the tone.
This is a NRN radio test call.
This is a NRN radio test call.
Oh, we have a green. Excellent. Hello, hello, Hillbilly. Good evening. You don't know why, but it feels like a new stream. It's a nice new refresh. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to give it a bit of a shake-up, and I mean, it's been 2 years, nearly 2 years. JT TV's been going now. I think it's coming up to 2 years in the next week or so. So it hasn't really had a lot of change. It's always sort of stayed the same. I mean, we've obviously done different stuff and streamed different things, but the appearance of things never really changed. So we wanted to give it a nice little new refreshment and give it a bit more shake-up. So it's good to feel like people think it's a new stream as well. I mean, to some people it will be new, because some people might not have ever been on it before. If you're coming off different places such as YouTube and Facebook. Are JT recruiting for anyone to join the team to develop new trains? One for Scott to answer there, really. I mean, there's always potential. If you've got sort of skills and stuff in that area, it's always worth dropping an email to Just Trains, as the right people will get in touch on that, and they can answer that question. We mainly focus in-house on routes these days, so it's always worth, if you have them skills and you want something, if you've got something to bring to the table, always get in touch with a very detailed email and sort of image and stuff like that, and you never know. Double yellows again at the minute, so we need to keep around 70 miles. Oh, it's gone green. There we go. Put some power back on. Do we play TS World 2? We do occasionally do TS World. We haven't done TS World 2 on here yet because we haven't got any of the content on our store. We've done Train Sim World 1 because we have that stuff on the store, but we haven't done it for a while. We are hoping down the line to get some of the TS World content onto the store via DTG. So if and when that does happen, then we will certainly look into doing some TS World 2 on here as well. Because what we focus on the JTTV side of things is we just do stuff off our site, what we sell. So of course, the stuff you'll see is stuff tonight being the Voyager, and then the Middle Line series stuff. You do feel like you don't know me anymore, APT. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure you'll know me very well again by the end of tonight's stream. Underground Gary, good evening as well. Hope you're well, mate. It's doubles again. So the key here is try and keep it at a steady pace. That way you're not going to race up to the signals and start to slow yourself down. So keep it at a steady 70. You should be alright. Of course, we are on the cross-country Voyager on this one. my BBC Radio 4 voice is amazing. Got the in the passenger view there as well. Ethan, good evening. All's good. How are you? And also, Ryan's Rail, good evening. We're starting to get the greens now. The rain stopped at the minute and the fog's slightly lifted. It's gone a little bit brighter as well outside. But never let it fool you. It could change again. Oh, excellent. Well, thank you for joining us. So, of course, let's say we're on the Voyager, which is cross country. This one, we're on a 220004. I mean, you get many liveries. You get so you get cross country. You get cross country with the new air dams. The new air dams were a feature that came with the upgrade for the 2019 pack. So it changes the look of the front of the unit slightly on the lower bumper. You get the other new addition was the Virgin Flowing Silk livery, so the new white with the fancy red front on it. That was the other livery that came mainly in the upgrade. Everything else was refinements to the textures, so they upscaled and stuff like that. There was a new scenario that came with that update as well. If you've never updated it, do go and update your pack. Just literally go to your account, re-download, reinstall, and you're good to go. So yeah, other Voyager liveries are your main original Virgin Trains livery. There was some fictional in there as well. You got USA, which I think was a sort of a look on the Axela, which was the American sort of high-speed brand. There's a German skin as well. Oh, and greens as well now. Let's get some power on. Very well, thank you, Ryansrael. A couple of years ago, you got to sit in the driver's seat of the Voyager in Edinburgh. Excellent. I got to sit at, in Class 37 425 a few years ago in Lancaster. That was quite cool. Only sort of happened though because my son wanted to go and have a look, so I went in there with him. He weren't that bothered, but I was. I had a good natter to the drive for about half an hour whilst he was waiting to do his turn back up the Cumbrian coast. There we go, up to 90 miles per hour for this section. So you're in Leicester as well, ISLT, and yes, Train Sim Classic is what it's known. So we're on Train Simulator 2021. It's PC only, this one. It's Train Sim World 2, where it's on the PlayStation, Xbox and PC. So if you've got the original Voyager, try and re-download the pack and see what happens. I mean, I know there was a case of when the update came out, if you did have the old one, There was something to do with like the upgrade and that the support team could sort out for you. So if you haven't got it, it's always worth dropping a message. But if you do download it, you may actually have it. It's always worth just updating your pack. The fog's coming in again now and the rain's starting. There's no passenger announcements on these, on the pack. Morgan, good evening. Freebridge is only 4.6, but we were going via there. So we're not actually stopping at this next station on the waypoint. Excellent stuff, Ethan. Sounds good. So, as we was going on before, talking about the plans of the next few streams. So, again, this one is our driving stream. Next week, I think it possibly may be some Southwestern Expressways route work. I think we're doing a building stream again. So, a bit like what we did the other week. So, the same sort of concept, talking through all that stuff. Will be co-hosting, and then we'll be doing the week after where he does his asset development one. That will be an asset of sort of chosen by a poll by you guys. So there'll be a poll that'll go up on the JT Facebook page, which will get sorted, and there'll be an option of like 4 or 5 different assets, and then whichever one gets the highest vote will be the one that will build it in the stream. So that'll be something quite cool. Our last stream of the week will be another driving one as well. So we're sort of like varying it, so it's not all the same stuff all the time. So we get to do a bit of development, a bit of driving, sort of teach you guys as well. So I'll be able to learn, or at least watch Will, see how he does things. It'll be quite interesting. So I'll be here to answer questions. I don't know, we could get Will to drive. Good evening, Whitemead. Also, no problem, James. Yeah, have a go and see how you get on. It may be a case that you do have the upgrade already and it'll just work out the box. That's a Freebridge coming up, which is our go via point. And then we're stopping at Gatwick Airport, which is only a couple of miles after it, so it's like 3.8 miles away. And then it's a nice long run through to East Croydon. Terry Bartlett, good evening, how are you doing? Hope you're well, mate. So again as well, if anyone misses any of the stream, you should be able to watch back on all platforms. It'll stay on YouTube. It should stay on YouTube all the time on our live stream section in our video catalogue. Facebook, it'll be there as well. You should be able to scroll down the actual Facebook page, and there possibly may be a section in the videos where it'll stay. Again, it's all new to us, so we should find this lot out. Twitch, it'll be the usual one where it stays there for about 2 weeks, and then it'll wipe itself. But you should be able to find us somewhere if you've missed any of the stream this evening. And all streams moving forward. Back on the yellows again. Well, let's bring us into our next station anyway. Start putting the brakes on in a moment. I think we have a red signal at the end of the platforms, which was double yellow, single yellow into the station, and the signal at the end of the platform will be the red. start bringing the train down to a stop. See if I'm getting in the right spot. We're only a 4-car unit. And the rain's eased up again. Chris Hill, good evening. Hope you're doing well, mate. The plane's just gone over. You can see the shadow. Let's see if we can find the 4-car marker. Somewhere in between the areas there. I think we may just go past it, to be honest, but it's not too bad. It's a good effort. Anthony, right, thank you. So, your route's so detailed. I would love for you guys to do the Cleethorpes and Manchester Airport route. Never say never. We always take on board people's recommendations, and we always keep them to one side, because when we get to the stage further into the years where we do our plans for future routes, we sort of look into how many people have asked for such routes, and if we see there's a market for a specific route, then the one that gets mentioned more is always a winner, really, for us. It shows that there's potential in sales. Spotting Southeast, good evening. Yes, so this scenario actually is the final Voyager run. So this is replicating that. So driving the last ever cross-country service from Brighton to Birmingham using the 220. It's nice to do some retro-y sort of runs. A little bit of a wait here, so we can just have a little look around the unit itself. So again, going through the destinations, there's plenty of different ones. Blackpool North because I wanted it. I sort of had, can we get Blackpool North on there just because I live there? But yeah, there's loads. Bournemouth, you've got Bristol, Cambridge, Cardiff, Coventry, Darlington, Derby, Dundee, Durham, Edinburgh, Exeter. You've got Glasgow as well, Guildford, Holyhead, Leamington Spa, Leeds, Liverpool, London Euston, Manchester, Newcastle, Newquay, Nottingham, Oxford, Paignton, Penzance, Plymouth. You got Reading on there, Sheffield as well, Southampton, Stansted, Stoke-on-Trent, Weston-super-Mare, Wolverhampton, York, and Nottingham. Also, there's special on there as well, and spare. And that's the end of the run there. There we go. As well, when you change destinations, they do change on the side window panel as well for the destinations. Right, so spotting southeast, enjoying the Voyager engines on departure. We'll do a departure as well. We'll put the DRA on because we actually are at red signal. It's a reminder appliance there. Would be a good route for the 185. Yes, I do agree on that one there, Anthony, right? Northwest Train, good evening. So, you purchased 3 of the MML routes, found that I had to update the Voyager and the 222. Did no probs, but the Class 60 update haven't been able to. There is no Class 60 updates as such in terms of like cosmetics. There was, I know which one you mean there. So there was a Class 60 disc. So yeah, you've got a Class 60 on the disc. You don't have an optical drive. Do send our support a message if you've got any details and stuff, and like purchase update receipts and stuff like that. Do send them to our support team. They should hopefully be able to help you out there. Please bear with me for 2 moments, guys. I'm just going to pop the showcase screen on for a moment. Right, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. The passenger view looked different to your Voyager. It may have had a bit of refinement over the time. There possibly may have been an update, maybe. Terry Bartlett, so you've been doing some Steam specials on Train Sim using various locals. Excellent. Yeah, Will found a load of different choices of music for us, so we picked some, and which one sort of worked well with each screen. So hopefully the new choices fit well with you guys as well. Again, part of our sort of re-jazzing it up a little bit. We've got about a minute or so here, I think, before we go. What time are we on here? 52, so we were a little bit early here. Time is a little bit slack. Cab light on there as well. Clipboard light. You can also actually turn the climate mode on. And you can hear the fans get louder and faster as you put it onto certain settings. Not that it does anything, it doesn't warm you up or anything like that, but it's nice to have a little play about with. There is some faults as well which you can do with the train, like on cold start and stuff like that. You can put markers in your own scenarios, so you can have certain things that pop up as well, like fire alarms and stuff like that. And you just literally you press the buttons up here, like fire alarm reset and stuff like that. You get brake faults and stuff as well. You have engine failures. These are all the little markers that you put on your track, and you link it up to where you're going. So as long as the train's going over that marker, then it'll activate. It's quite cool. All in the manual, tells you about everything. Oh, the rain's just starting again. Put the wipers back on. You're long for Crewe to Shrewsbury, which was a local line when growing up in Wem. And I was the same. Always wanted me local and stuff like that, and I ended up making myself as a personal. Well, it's a freeway route out there, but it's always nice to have your local route in Train Sim and drive past the places that you sort of live by and stuff like that. Every person will be the same. It's like whenever we obviously show off a new route, it's like, oh yes, we've got our local route and stuff. There's a lot of comments for that, especially with the Hope Valley as well. That was another one that brought a lot of comments in that sort of nature as well. Figured out how to set up lighting ETS over there. Excellent. It's always good to do a little bit of learning in ETS and sort of figure things out, have a play with stuff. That's where it all starts. You have to sort of tinker, and then you get there eventually. Siphoning through loads of YouTube tutorials and stuff like that, and eventually you sort of start picking things up, and then before you know it, you start building routes. Right away, driver. Your next stop is East Croydon at 15:07 and departing at 15:09. This is our last stop for this service and this scenario. DRA off. Right, away we go. Manchester to Crewe as well will be a lovely route, yes. Right, so East Croydon, 16.29 miles away. So we're making the Kent Coastal. We made some great progress, and that's learning how to place track. Brilliant. Nottingham to Skegness would be nice. That'll be a nice one for MML. Again, all these suggestions, we do keep him on board, so we don't forget about them. Busy scenes. I've got an achievement. I've been given an achievement on Restream. Brilliant. We've reached 100 messages today with Restream chat. A4 when? What A4 when for me to drive it? I have to do some practice. My professional Steam driving. You never know. We very well may get it on there at some point. Definitely try and get some different stuff on that we haven't sort of done very often as well. I think it's still raining. My Steam driving is very poor. A lot of people know that, but I'm always open to giving it a go and having a little play about with it and at least try and get it moving, which usually I do. It definitely usually does. It doesn't go with a Radio 4 voice. No, it'd be me frantically stressing. Have I got enough water? Have I got enough coal? I'll be tearing my hair out. But I'll definitely give it a go. I think we got to the stage of actually, I got it onto my account. We sort of started looking at it to try and get it on the stream. but we never got any further than that, so we may have to revive that idea. We've got the 90 mile an hour mark there. I think it stopped raining now. Set the wipers off. So one of the things what happened with the 2019 upgrade was the higher res logos and branding on the train. Again, as well, refining the colours in the paint schemes as well to bring them up to modern standards in the sim. These are all done by Rob Skipworth, who took on the project for us and brought the update to life. And the update as well, it all sort of came together in sort of line with Cornish Main Line and stuff like that. It's just after. So the Looe Valley Line, there's a very small section of the Looe branch on Cornish Main Line, which is basically Liskeard down to, is it Coombe Holt, which goes like towards Maudswater. It doesn't go all the way down the branch. So Dean, you've really got into train sim recently, and knowing of our streams now as well as the ATS and DT streams gives a great detail and interactive insight of what's going on in the scene. That's what we want. We want to get more people in the know there. Again, we're live every Monday, so if you're new to the stream, every Monday we've been here for a couple of years now doing the streams. But yeah, every Monday if you're new to it, from 7:30, usually on for a couple of hours each Monday, doing a few different bits and pieces. Depending on the length of the stream, sometimes we get 2 scenarios in. Sometimes it's the one if it's a longer one, and depending on what we're if we're showing more stuff off. As well, we'd obviously, when we get to the stage of things being ready, we start showing off and showcasing our new content as well. And then in the meantime, we do our back catalogue, highlighting stuff what we've released in recent times as well. And also our new development side of things as well. So we'll start showing how we build things and stuff like that, and sort of that side of bits and pieces as well. Seen many voyages past 125 in your time. I remember many years ago I went to Thirsk when I was younger, and when it was Virgin Cross Country at the time, straight through the middle lines there at full speed. It was quite exhilarating really. Especially when you're young. Rogue Squadron, good evening, how are we doing? So again, the content that we're showing off this evening is the Voyager Advanced 2019, and then it'll be followed on by the Derby Nottingham extension from MML, with also the Derwent Valley extension to the MML there too. As well, we have an offer on the Voyager Advanced, and that is in place until 5 o'clock this coming Friday. So you can pick up the pack down from $21.99 for $14.99. Also, the other currencies, so in euros you can get it for $18.95, and in dollars $22.99. Now the links won't show through for Facebook and YouTube, it's just the way Nightbot works. Nightbot's a bot that works in with Twitch, but if you just head onto the website, if you are interested in the products that we showed this evening, if you just go to the JT website, just type in the product names that you've seen this evening and they'll pop up. I'm gonna have a look into seeing if there's a way of possibly getting some form of bot that does bring up the promotions and stuff like that. I'm not really sure if it can be done on Facebook and YouTube, but if it can, then winner. If not, then it's just one of them things, unfortunately, we'll have to sort of just vocally let you know, which we do anyway. Yeah, so the horn inside the cabs, you can hear the air and the compressor coming through. Obviously, it's different on the outside. Evening, Matt. Hey up. How you doing, bud? All sounds recorded off the real unit as well, when it was in development many years ago. Need to get the Western Main Line soon. You have almost all the stock barring the freight. Excellent. A lengthy route as well, especially if you get all the extensions and everything to that as well. It ends up being about a 330-mile route from end to end with the Cornish Main Line all the way through there as well. Tom, sometimes I tuck my knees into my chest and lean forward. That's just how I roll. Brilliant. Stretch, good evening. Hope you're doing well, mate. Another route we'd like to see it from Anthony, has put a request in there, would be from Hull. So that's another one I do hear quite a lot of, Hull, as a route in TS. We're only 4.5 miles away from East Croydon. Eating the miles. Really hear the turbo going once it gets moving. Is there a trolley service on board tonight? I'll have a look. Not that I can see. It's bring your own tonight. I mean, I've got to go to the get my own brew as well tonight. I want to go back to the kettle after this scenario. Go and get another brew. Right, so we're not far off now. So the 60 just popped up onto the hull, so we'll start getting brought in a minute. I think there's a red signal at the end of this station as well. If I remember correctly, I did a test run this afternoon on this one, just to make sure all was right. You'd like Manchester to Crewe via Stockport and also Manchester Airport route via Heald Green. Nice run down to Manchester Airport. I've done it a few times. Where do cows go on a Friday night? They go to the movies. South East Yorkshire is a part of the UK not covered yet. Yes, there's still quite a bit of Yorkshire to see in TS. Sort of in the north, middle bit, like the Manchester area and stuff like that, still quite sparsely seen in TS, but obviously we're bringing the Hope Valley line, which will be another nice area to fill in. Bring some lengthy scenario possibilities when that comes out as well. Driving from Manchester to Nottingham on an EMT service, absolutely hellfire. Really lengthy run. Ever had a go at creating different, more realistic passengers that walk on platforms? Characters is something we've never really delved into. We have our invisible platforms that have sort of came from the Kuju side. Characters is something that's quite hard to do and get right in TS, and something that we've never really delved into, as we've always had the stuff sort of there. Again, it's one of the things I never say never. It would have to be something that would have to be decided on if there's the need for it. I mean, we've started using TSA as well now as a requirement. I think there may be a different invisible platform that spawns different types of characters, a bit more newer. So maybe it could be a case that we start looking into possibly using that down the line. to be something we'd have to ask and speak about and decide on, really. Right, East Croydon. Yeah, the K1 Kettlefoo cast today. Oh, belting. Wouldn't mind a route that goes through Preston, Manchester, via Bolton, Adlington and Chorley. So yeah, the Bolton corridor, that isn't it? Another, that's quite a local route to myself. I'd love to see that. Has Ramsgate and Margate been covered? I'm not sure if Ramsgate is in TS, but Margate, I've never seen Margate. I'm not sure if Ramsgate's in more like the Chatham route or something like that. I know DGG did Chatham Mainline. I'm not sure if it's been covered on that. Again, it's nothing that we've done. Could think of some ideas for the steam scenarios for the South Western Expressway's Reading extension, with the standard 5MT, 4MT, 7MT, and the V2 Green Arrow. Definitely looking. We do try and add in some steam scenarios, so definitely we'll look into seeing if we can do something with some of them. It may even be a case that we have one scenario and we sort of clone them to use a different steam locos. Oh, they're not. Neither of them in TS. Well done this afternoon, driver. That is the end of an era. Never again will the true interregional express leave Brighton. Right, I will go and get the next scenario loaded up. I will be back in a couple of minutes, guys. Just bear with us. I'll put the showcase on as well, just so it's not doing nothing. Right. Again, that was the Voyager Advanced 2019 pack, and you can pick that up off the website. Again, it's on offer till this Friday at £14.99, and that's down from £21.99. Right, we're back. I've been to the Buffy car, got another coffee, and we're now in Nottingham. We are doing 2 Alpha 10, which is the 0617 Matlock service. Please note, we are on a AP Class 156 for this, so the train is nothing to do with the route, it's just one that we are using as a... We're on this scenario. The main focus tonight on this is Derby, Nottingham and Leicester extension, and the Derwent Valley extensions for Sheffield to Derby MML range. So, good morning driver, please press T to load the passengers and then prepare your cab for departure. We are due away at 0617. Easy. Right. Can we do a Train Sim Jubilee line, Stanmore to Stratford, all station including the 1996 stock? There's no plans at the moment, but again, we'll always bear stuff in mind on that. But thank you very much for the suggestion there. Right, key in, we'll put that on there. We need to put some headlamps on, set the tail lights off, and put some destination light lights, instrument lights on, and also the markers. We are service 2 Alpha 10, and the signal on this one is 987. So that's that. DRA off. Just going to double check the headlights. That's right. Put our destination on for Matlock. There we go, Matlock. That's literally sorted. So we are awaiting me to open the doors, which always helps. Otherwise we're going nowhere. The music more pleasant before. I'm glad to hear that people are enjoying the music in the separate sections. I'll let Will know it was a winner in choices. I'm not sure if Will's actually watching or not, to be honest. He did say he might be popping in and out, but I'm not sure if he's in or not. So Dean, so happy you bought most of the UK stuff on Steam. You thought your collection was coming to an end, but looking at our items on the site, you'll be able to collect a lot more over time now. Excellent. It's what we like to hear. It's nice when you find more stuff and you think you're there, and then there's like, oh, we've got all that stuff there. There's loads more stuff. And there's sort of sometimes you find bits that you didn't know about as well, which is always good. It's like, oh, I want that, but it's not available. And then you come across it, it's like, oh, excellent, winner. You'll be going nowhere. No, we won't be going nowhere. We're going in a moment. So on this service, we're going to be calling out Beeston, Attenborough, Long Eaton, Spondon, Derby, Duffield, Belper, Ambergate, Watstanwell, Cromford, Matlock Bath, and Matlock. Away we go. So now I think it's about 60 to 70 minute run this as well. It's quite a nice journey. So leaving the city, going into the country areas, back into the city like Derby, and then you again go into the countryside, and then you wind your way through the single line run of the Derwent Valley. So quite a nice mix on this run. So as we depart our way out of Nottingham, we cross underneath the Nottingham Express Transit tramway bridge. So it's 15 on the way out of here, not 16.1. So I'll just knock a little bit of speed off there. Sheds with DRAs seem to curse you. I try and get into the habit of using the DRA. Seems we've got a race. We're just leaving the city behind us now on the outskirts. It's quite built up really till we get past Beeston, and then it turns into the countryside areas, more rural in areas, housing. Yes, this is a JT scenario. It comes with the Derwent. No, sorry, it comes with the DNL route, but it's a scenario that does require the scenery, of course, to be in for the Derwent Valley because it covers the 2 routes. He's had us. I think he's had us. So that's a lead service. So he'll be going down towards the Erewash Valley. Which goes off to the right. And again, the Erewash Valley is another add-on for the Midland Main Line series, which takes you through places such as Langley Mill, Ilkeston, Alfreton, and then joins back on with the Midland Main Line further up outside Chesterfield at Clay Cross. It's about a 24-mile extension. My driving, I probably wasn't going as fast as I should have been. I could have had him. Try again next time. Looking forward to the new routes. Plenty to come. So yeah, later in the year we'll be able to start showing some bits, all being well. Of course we'll have South Western Expressways, which you'll see again next week in the route building stream. But obviously when we get further down the line with the work we're doing to the route, we'll start being able to get it on and actually drive on it. Beeston is just over a mile away, so we'll start slowing down shortly. Top speed for this unit as well will be 75 miles per hour. Just knock the power off, we'll start braking. I'll have a look around the station as well and show you guys. Grace Smith, thank you very much for the follow. Quite a lovely little building, this one as well. So again, I will show yourselves. Just try and get to the right point. I'm not sure if actually here we're at the end of just where the canopy is for the marker. Somewhere around here, because the fork area is, it's literally just at the edge of that canopy there. So around about here. Yeah, the 158 got a little bit more power, haven't they? Right, so whilst we're at Beeston, let's have a quick look round before we get the road. So it's quite a lovely old mixture of different canopies. You've got the old wooden style there, it sort of goes to the metal style there. Lovely old building as well. Dates back to 1847. You get a lovely mixture of different style of buildings on this line. And again, when we go on to the Matlock section, You'll see the differences in stations there as well, some grand buildings. The Met Line is nice. I love the scenery, but the problem is that you have to go slow to go to the red. Yeah, it's down to the approach controls. It's the way the signalling system is. So they are correct to how the signals work on the real route. It just takes a bit of practice. We did the Met Line last week, but we will have it on again. So do look out, GamerCat. So if there's anything that you're not too sure about, do come and join us when we do our Met Line streams, because they're quite informative, and we can talk people through the signalling system and sort of show you what you need to do for specific signals. As well, it should still be on Twitch. If you head over to Twitch, you should see last week's stream. It should still be there. So if you missed anything with the Met Line there, you can always watch back on that. It should be there for about another week yet. The next stop will be Attenborough. Not too far away, just a little bit further up the line. Attenborough is one that I remember going to, helping do a bit of research on the way to our Christmas party a year or two ago. Lovely little station. Nice little area as well. Imagine making a 156 and a 365 combo. That'd be interesting. Literally 0.6 of a mile now, so we'll just take the power off there and coast for a moment, and we'll bring it down to a stop. Hey up, Dave. Good evening. Oh, that is unfortunate, GamerCat. So where the line goes onto the M1, the River Trent has been really flooded for the last few weeks. Yeah, there's been quite a lot of bad weather, hasn't there? Obviously, snow and rain and everything's all mixing. So it's... I have seen pictures of all the floods and that. It doesn't look good at all. I did. The birthday was very good, thank you very much, Dave. Now in my 30s. I feel like an old man. So correct stopping position there. The Trent even had cars floating in it. Wow. It must be bad. It's terrible. You missed it, yeah. My birthday. I didn't actually get a birthday cake as such. I got cupcakes. So I got mother half got some cupcakes ordered, and they had class 37. So all my pictures that I've taken, there were 6 different ones I had, and they all had different class 37s on them. They were quite cool. I like stuff like that. Got a banner made as well. She got sorted for me, which had some of my pictures on it as well, and all that. Yeah, it's cool. Midlife crisis due now? I hope not. If it hasn't been done yet, the route from Lincoln to Skegness, or the loop from Newark, Northgate and Lincoln itself. Again, we'll keep the suggestions in. James? Also, good evening, Dan. So again, tonight's stream, obviously people may have just joined we are streaming on 3 different outputs. We are on Facebook, YouTube and Twitch all at the same time, which is our first stream doing this. You may have seen us doing some tests last week. So yeah, this is our first run at it. Hoping in time that it'll pick up more. Again, this is our first one doing it, so hopefully people will sort of get the know about it, and moving forward we should start seeing more numbers come in. As with anything new, it takes a bit of time to get established a bit more. Has there been any update on South Western Expressways that you've missed? I don't know. The last update we put out on the website was to do with Pewsey Station. About a week ago. Cheers, Nigel. Right, so Long Eaton next, 2.75 miles away. So we're going to navigate through the Trent Junctions as well in a moment. And we'll head to the right, which takes us then towards Derby. If you swing to the left, that'll take you up to Leicester, which we will focus on in another stream as well. If you're going to chase us, Scott, you're going to have to chase us at a safe distance. Yeah, if you see any messages come through JT, Just Strange TV, they are Scott. Just to confuse everyone. Or whoever's moderating, but yeah, it is Scott this evening. Down to 30 in a moment, so we'll go over the crossovers, and then as we get around the curve just before Sheet Stores Junction, it goes down to 10. It's quite a tight bend, as you'll see. Coming up on this bridge, you'll see, I'll pause it for a second so we don't miss anything. So you'll see here is the High Line. This comes in from Towton Depot, which is somewhere over there. So Towton Depot is included with the route. We won't really see much of that this evening. If I can just sort of fly over here so far, you can see it. Fully drivable depot, all the yards and everything like that. We'll cover Towton again on another stream. We'll have something that focuses in around this area. But yeah, you can drive in the depot. It's quite a cool little experience you get to have there as well. But yeah, that's this line that comes in over the top here, which crosses over the top and joins us back over there and heads towards Leicester and the power station at Ratcliffe. No static, not on this scenario, there's no need for it. The Chavness lines run very close to your house, Dave. Right, down to 30. What JT routes are available on Steam? Off the top of my head, you've got Sheffield to Derby's on Steam. Please bear in mind, though, if you want to do the Sheffield Derby route, we recommend going, if you're going to go down the extension road and going, adding all the other routes on, we recommend that you go via the website on that one. Southwest Expressways is on Steam currently, but do bear in mind that we have obviously our new version in progress at the moment. You've also got Chiltern Main Line, I think, is on there as well. Newcastle to Edinburgh. London to Aylesbury as well is on there. So there's a few. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. I think Marsdenshire's on there as well, and possibly Valley Corridor, I think. Sort of spring to mind. We've got locos and stock and stuff on there as well to choose from. So we're down to 10 here, so you can see the tightness of this curve. This is Sheet Stores Junction. Oh yeah, Cornish Main Line's on there. That's just gone back up again. So the line coming in on the left here is from Leicester. Oh yeah, the Met line's on there as well. Currently, I would recommend that you get the Met line through our store off the website. There's been an issue with the Met line on Steam. It is getting rectified. DTG are rolling an update out at some point soon. It's something to do with the common library where it's been calling in different common libraries from different routes where it causes a crash. So if you have actually got it off there and you do experience that, there will be an update coming at some point soon. It's just when DTG get round to updating that one. They have sent some updates already, I think, for the Cal line and I think the U-Barn route. They've been updated already. So I think what they were doing is sort of rolling it over a few at a time just to make sure everything gets sorted and doesn't have any issues. But if you obviously want to go with the Met line currently, I would recommend the website whilst they're working on that. You saw 66,720 yesterday. Yes, I know. Yeah, you mentioned it, didn't you? It looked awful livery-wise. It must be it's because very dirty. Can't spot the kids' livery. HST, they're going to Nottingham. Which one's the Chatham? What's the Chaffness line? Is that the one that goes to such and such a place up? This one, isn't it? Mansfield. Is it Mansfield? Long Eaton is just coming into view now. So again, we'll do some focusing on like Towton and the Ratcliffe Power Station again down the line at some point in the near future. There's so many different places that we can obviously do with this route. It's quite a fun one, especially if you want a network of routes. Mansfield's the Robin Hood line. Oh, you mean Skegness? This is Long Eaton. It's another one we came and researched on the way to the Christmas party. I think this was the first place we came to before we moved around a little bit. Not this Christmas just gone, of course, but the one previous. Ratcliffe Power Station dominating the scene there. I don't think we'll really get to see it on this, but if I sort of fly over here. You've got the River Trent down here, you've got the Trent Viaducts. The power station you can see just there, which is fully functional as well. You can unload your trains of coal and stuff there and limestone. Run around, then come back out again. Quite a lengthy process as well. It's quite a long run when you get around it, but it's quite cool to have a drive around that. It's such a big place. Dominates. As soon as you drive in there, you're like, look at wow. The size of the buildings are huge. One of the most fun parts of build. I've enjoyed building around that area and putting everything together. One huge jigsaw. Right, so not too far before we leave here. We've still got Spondon, Derby, Duffield, Belper, Ambergate, Wat Stanwell, Cromford, Matlock, Bath and Matlock. So I can sort of show you the map. Please bear in mind, obviously, Hope Valley's on my track, but that's to the left, don't need to focus on that. So Sheffield at the top, coming down to Dore and Totley. And we head down this way, down to Chesterfield. You've got the Barrow Hill extension, which is this part up here. Then coming down, you've got Claycross Junction here. And there's a train coming actually as well. You've then got the choice to go either continuing south to Derby, which is this line here, where you then have the Matlock branch, which we'll wiggle down there in a bit. Continue down to Derby. Then we're here at the minute. The other line where it goes off at Clay Cross is the Erewash Valley, which runs down this way, which goes to Nottingham there, or continues down to Toton. Heading south, we've got the Trent Junctions here. You've got Ratcliffe Power Station. Then continuing south, you've got Loughborough, and the Brushworks is in there as well, which you can go around. You've got Mount Sorrel as well, which is a loading facility for aggregate. And then you've got the Syston Junction there, which would head over towards Peterborough. Then you continue south down to Leicester. Many trains. Busy scenes. As well, please bear in mind there is going to be an update for the Sheffield Derby MML route range coming quite soon. One of the updates will fix the issue that people have been experiencing with the quick drives. We've had plenty of support messages about it, so we haven't ignored it. It's just taken us a bit of time to get it sorted out, which sorts out the pathing. So if you were to be pathed around the curve to go to Nottingham, it would path you the wrong way down here somewhere, and it would send you back. It's been rectified. Mark was doing the test for that today, and it all seemed to work as intended now, which is good news indeed. So bear with us and hang in there. Thank you for your patience on the matter with that one, but it's not far off now. I think builds will start to be made quite soon on that, and we can start rolling them out. Other updates as well, and fixes to bits and pieces, some scenarios and stuff like that as well that have cropped up. Solid level crossing that. So we are 4.2 miles down to Spondon, so it's quite a bit of a decent section here. You can get up some speed, depending on what service you're doing. 156 is obviously only up to 75, but it's quite a fast section if you're on some specific stuff like your 222s or your HSTs. You've got 110, 100, and then it goes up to 115 on this section. So you can get a decent run at this. Of course, 170s as well. I think they're 100-mile-an-hour units as well, aren't they? So you do get a good run at them if you're on one of them. Is the Hope Valley... What's that, Nigel? I think some of your messages may not have come through there. So the Hope Valley is at Stockport and Buxton. Buxton's not included on it. It's a different line, that. So you'll get Stockport and New Mills, I believe. There's two ways. So yeah, there's a couple of different ways. So again, the scenario potential for that route, we're going to bring in some really interesting runs as well. I'm doing a lot faster than I should be. I should be in 75, not 81. We're nearly at Spondon as well now, so start prepping ourselves to slow down there. Sort of on the outskirts of Derby now as well. We're a few miles away from there. As well, if you've not seen, do head over to the development page on our website, and you can go and have a little read up. There's a type up in there which gives you an overview of what's to be expected, if you've not seen on that. The Guybridge Stockport line, I believe not. Though again, never say never for a future proposal. I mean, there is quite a fair bit anyway that comes. I mean, I can give you a quick. I can't show us. There's no scenery. I'm not showing scenery, but you can sort of see the extent of the track up there. Track isn't finished either, but you can see where the track splits off. There's two different ways it goes around. I'm not fairly familiar which line's which yet. I've not seen, so but yeah, you get the idea what's going on there with that. But again, when the time comes that we can start showing that route, then of course we will start putting it onto the stream every so often. Needs to be a good chunk and stuff like that before we can start getting on here. No point showing you like one station to another station. But the progression is good. Some lovely screenshots. I've seen some fantastic looking assets as well. The Highland Line at the minute has been pushed back a little bit as we're working on South Western Expressways to Reading first, and then progression on the route building side will then again take off. But there is still stuff happening with Highland. The assets are being built and produced at the minute, so there's a lot of models being made. So there's a lot of stuff being prepped for our side of things that we can start placing stuff. One of my favourite scenes. I do like sitting over here. So about 2.5 miles to Derby. Yeah, that's it. If you've got all the extension now, you get quite a decent run. So you can go to different places, which is really cool with this. Many options and different possibilities, whether it's passenger or freight, rail tour, or special workings in bits and pieces. So we'll get around this bend, you'll see the in the distance you'll see Derby. It's not too far away now, of course. You'll see such places like the football stadium, which is, I think it's called the Pride Park Stadium, which is just over there actually. You can see it in the distance there through the middle window, or this side window here. Would like to see Derby extended down to Birmingham New Street one day. Again, it's something that we've spoken about. Nothing at the minute in place for that one, but it is one we would like to see ourselves. It is one that does get asked of quite a lot, so the more people ask for it, you never know. not just Derby, do the rest of the UK. Imagine a whole route of the UK in one route. I think that it might fall on its knees, the game. Right, we're ready for 2030. We're just loading in Derby, so you'll see a little bit of tile stuff. It's quite a busy area on the route, this big tile. So on the left you've got Derby RTC, which is the Network Rail Centre. Plenty of locos get stored here and stuff as well and work out of there. On the right hand side you will see Etches Park as well, which is the now EMR depot. Was of course EMT before they changed over franchise. A little bit quiet on the left, but it's just to keep the FPS on the high side, with it being a busy area. Of course, there's loads of community scenarios out here at different various websites, and there's a lot of scenarios that do cover busy yards as well. So if you do find them, then it's always happy days. Network Rail are out busy today doing test trains. You can see there's a 222 on its way out as well. Again, the 222 is in our product range, which is quite a staple piece of traction for this route, of course. So all scenarios, I would say, if not most, all scenarios do use the 222. Unless you happen to find yourself just doing a bit of shunting around Toton Depot. There is a couple of scenarios as well that do 37 workings and stuff like that. You've got the new measurement train as well in the scenario. So there's a few bits and pieces with this route covering out of the RTC there. So we've got a couple of minutes of Derby. We're not actually due out till 51. So while we're here as well, I will just show. Not only do we them two places, but we have actually got Lickchurch Lane. Not as high end on the detail because it's a bit out of the way, but it is in there. All the buildings are in place and that, but you can drive in and out of here. And again, our Voyager is on its way out. And if you just joined us, the Voyager is on sale, and is on sale until this coming Friday at 5 PM. Down from $21.99 down to $14.99. So a little look round whilst we're waiting. So again, yeah, you got your all the depot buildings and stuff like that for RTC. You've got the depot area as well. Got the fuel. Where's the fuel? Over there. There you are. The fuels are over there. Some more sheds over there as well, which are all drivable. Ooh, and we are off. Stephen Smedley, hello, good evening. Very well. I hope you're well as well, mate. Thank you for joining us. Right, so we've left the DNL section of the route now. We are on the original part of the route, which is Sheffield to Derby. So we'll travel up this part up until Ambergate Junction. So not a massive distance, probably about 10 to 15 minutes or so on this route. Then we go on to the Derwent extension. Danny did Leicester to Derby. We're out the hood on HST. It was fantastic, excellent. Your route knowledge is coming along then. Ballast and Stoneblower and yellow network rail trains are definitely a gap in the market. Yes, definitely. So many wagons that can be used on this route as well. So again, there's a Dan's point there. Voyagers are everywhere. You've got the Voyagers and the 222. They're everywhere on this section of the route. All easy, we just stopped at Loughborough EMP and Beeston. Love to see Derby to Manchester via Macclesfield. Derby via Macclesfield. Is that the one that goes like will go down via Crewe? Long Eaton as well. So we're going to cross over in a minute. It's Derby, Blythebridge, Stoke, Macclesfield. Ah, right, yes, it goes down. I know, yeah, I know which way you mean. Not overly familiar with that section of the route. Hope Valley's coming on nicely. Again, do keep your eye out. There'll be, of course, further updates and screenshots down the line. No pun intended. As the route progresses. When we get to the stage, we'll of course put it onto the stream as well and start driving on it, but that'll be later on in the year, I would have thought. Still quite a lot to do yet. There is a lot of extensions to do with this route. Excuse me. Yeah, the possibilities are endless. It's really, really central, so you can take it wherever. Ashish Jar, thank you very much for the follow. Good evening. Evening, Chris. How long did it take to build the Met line for Train Sim? About 2 years, I think it was in development overall. I joined partway through the for the project, onto that one. So it was well underway when I joined. So it was already being worked on when I started working with JT. Gaming Cat, thank you for the subscribe over at YouTube. It was quite a lengthy project, the Met line. Nice to see your hometown of Macclesfield get a mention. So when we did the Met line last week, we did Uxbridge to Aldgate. So there will be more streams to come of the route. I mean, we've got Chesham, Amersham, Watford as well to cover again in streams. So keep your eye out. There'll be more streams on the route as we move forward. Any plans to go further south of Leicester? We've mentioned about it. It's not something we're going to dismiss, so do just bear with us on that one. We'd love to take it further south, but at the moment, of course, we've got it's the Hope Valley at the minute, which is in progress. So Met Line's your favourite JT route, followed by the ML and the Western Main Line stuff from Nigel. Excellent. Nice way that there's so many people that do enjoy the current routes that have just been produced as well. So well, at Duffield, you've got the small section of track which covers the Ecclesbourne railway, isn't it? There's a poster of it there. Wirksworth, Derbyshire, Ecclesbourne Valley Railway. So there's a little small section of track, so you can place your own trains there if you wish to do so in your scenarios. Making a fictional Coronation Street and Greater Weatherfield tram route using the Liverpool to Manchester route. There's our new follow. Funds, thank you very much for the follow. So yeah, you're using the Liverpool to Manchester route, but have a feeling parts of your Midland Main Line route might give you some useful assets. Definitely, it's always worth having a look. Don't know about you, but there's been a nice influx of routes, an influx of nice routes appear. The Bodmin route is an example. There's loads of stuff that keeps popping up. Not even just from ourselves. I mean, there's all sorts out there. There's so many lovely bits and pieces that have been done, whether it's from the freeware side or the commercial side. There's all sorts. Plenty to keep you guys busy. Right, next stop is Belper. Official Uncle Albino, thank you for the follow. Good evening. Hope you're well. Kieran, good evening. Good to see you on here as well. Will the new Reading to Pewsey be extended to Exeter? It does go to Exeter already, but the revamp will take place to Exeter also. It goes to Exeter St Davies, possibly St Thomas as well. Doesn't go to Exeter Central though. Very well, thank you, official Uncle Albino. Hope you're well as well. Right, Belper's only 1.9 miles away, which is the last station on this section route before we turn off at Ambergate Junction. And we're going to the single track part down to Matlock. Would that be window open? One of the other things which I will highlight with the update is Mark spent quite a few hours updating and swapping out the trees. So they now, all the 2D trees use the TSA ones, which now match in with the rest of the route. So obviously we used to use ones out the JTCL, and then we obviously, when we started using the TSA library, there was two different sections of route, so you see some of the 2Ds wouldn't match in with the others. So it's now universal throughout. So that is one of the things that you will see when the update comes out. So yeah, Stephen, so when we have the release for South Western Expressways to Reading, there will be a lovely discount in there for existing owners, yes. I don't know what the discount is yet, because we're a bit away from that, but obviously when that time comes we will be able to announce that and tell you guys. Belper, that's one of my favourite little stations on this section of the route. It's quite a nice enclosed station. Got some nice scenes if you do even to like your screenshots and stuff. Discount will be 99% off. You can only wish. But it will be a nice discount when that comes. So again, you see it's so all enclosed on embankments, and when the sun casts at the right place, you get some very nice picturesque screenshots of that stuff, like memorials, the mosaics as well. Transition Belper. You can also pop down to Ardee if you need to go and do some shopping. A lot of research gets put into the stations, especially for signage and stuff like that. I mean, I'll just pause for a second. So you get, for the example, you get all the correct signage, which you will see on all the walls and different bits and pieces. So noting out different places such as the World Heritage Site for Derwent Valley Mills. Tells you which way to go as well. There's all sorts of bits and pieces. Posters and stuff as well. Yeah, there's all sorts. All different stations have all their own different little characteristics as well. So there's all different bits and bobs to be seen. Some have their own little unique quirks. Hardy Gen. Other supermarkets are available. Is TSA you mentioned for the trees? Yes, TS Academy. Everyone has it. It comes with Train Sim. It's got all sorts of bits and pieces. Some nice foliage in there which we use on our routes. Yeah, the reason we use TSA is just to give us an overall more up-to-date look, to bring it into line with other releases that you see, like through DTG and stuff. The colours of the trees just mix in nicer with what we use, and there's all sorts of other 2D foliage we use line side. Would it be possible to have a camera inside of the passenger area that moves with the train, and you can move it around freely to simulate walking? Not on this simulator you can't, but you can on Train Sim World, Dean. So you're literally a static position on TS Classic. You can't wander around freely. You can do different positions, but you can't walk around freely. Chris is disappointed there's no co-op knockoff. I do believe there's a new petrol station coming though, in the Common Library. I think there's a co-op one. I do believe Will did some co-op branding. So you may see that in future stuff. You will see it, I would have thought, if it's on the line. Extra stuff there, Stephen. Always a good way to keep in line there. That way you'll find out right away when stuff gets released. If anyone else hasn't ever done that, you can head over to our website in the in development site. You can sign up with your email and you'll get a notification when stuff goes live. That way, if you're at work and you don't know, you'll get the email. I've moved Jerry out of the way. I need to stick it onto... there's a way you can turn the mouse off, but I tend to keep the mouse on with these streams because I can point things out. I've slowed down a little bit too early really for this junction, but not to worry. Look forward to see. Can't be any worse than the mid-counties rebranding ourselves to your co-op rather than having to pay the increase for the new uniform. God. Just slow down because we've got a red signal. It will change though in a minute. It's just an approach control signal. Brings us down to a safe speed for the junction. So we're going to leave the Sheffield to Derby section of the route behind now. We're going to head over to the Derwent Valley in a minute. Single track all the way down to Matlock. Stations left to call at are Ambergate, Watstandwell, Cromford, Matlock Bath and Matlock. Because the new routes come with the VP grass, I don't need to install it, do I, if there's a freeway route. So the grass is the VP grass which we have licensed to use in our routes. It comes under a different name. It's been renamed for our common library, but it all comes contained in with the route. So you don't need to download anything anywhere else for the routes. Everything comes contained within the route. So you don't need to worry about downloading anything essential from elsewhere, other than the stuff that we state, which usually is the European Asset Loco and something pack, which is all QU stuff, and TSA. That's usually the only things that we have on our list. And TS, of course, itself. JB Video, good evening, how are you doing? Another gap in the market is a cliff railway. Do you mean like a funicular? Excellent, JB. Good to hear. And again, in line with the update to do with the trees, the Derwent Valley lines had all the 2Ds and stuff replaced as well to meet up with the same look of the rest of the route. I think some of the 3D trees have changed as well. I vaguely remember seeing Mark change them over as well. Would love to see Skipton to Carlisle in TS. Most of the routes in TS already, and it's settled to Carlisle. Could then be extended to the West Coast Mail Line from Preston and Carlisle added. Do you jump off here and grab the token for the line? Very kind of you to say that, JB. I do, yeah, there is a workshop version on there. I think it's 1975 period, but there is one on there, which is worth looking at. Next up is Watstandwell. Funicular, yeah, it would be quite interesting. No, not very long railways, are they? But yeah, it'd be quite cool to see, even if it was just like another route, as a little feature. Yeah, so yeah, pretty much Stretch. Yeah, so the TSA comes with some really handy assets. Which means that you don't need to have extra loads of stuff, and they're working well with all the stuff that we build to go in our common library and core assets for the specific route we're making. Mainly we use it is mainly for the foliage side of things. Just gives a bit more variety than what we've been using already. And with it being already in everyone's game that it comes with as standard, it was a no-brainer to enable it. Understandable there, JB. Right, so it's 50 mile an hour down this section. Got the canal up on the top here as well. to the Cromford Canal. So this is like a 7 to 8 mile extension as well. It's quite a reasonably priced add-on as well. I think it's $7.99 on the JT website. I'm just going to double check that. It is. It's $7.99. Quite compact. There's quite a lot to see on it. Very picturesque scenery as well as you wind around the valley. Yeah, this was the original route, so yeah, it went through Rowsley and like Buxton and stuff like that, and came out the other end. So the original Blue Pullman would have used this route. In our route building video, you were putting in a fence and changed the direction of the yellow arrow 90%. How do we do that? Do you mean as in like clicking it, making another arrow appear, and then you can raise it up and down? Basically, just on the gradient tool, bring the arrow up, click where you need to be, and then you can just literally manipulate it to where you want it to go to, up or down, and to meet the contour of the terrain. Anyone done a Blue Pullman TS? There's a reskin for the new HST version, but there's not actually a proper Blue Pullman as far as I'm aware in TS. Which is the LSL HST. It's quite a cool station. You've got such a lean on the elevation and on the curve. I think it's falling off the track when it comes into the station. So again, all sorts of little, as I was saying before, sort of signage and stuff. So this one's got an old style sign as well. So the old sort of totem style. We've also got the centenary plaque on the embankment there as well, 1894 to 1994. What else we got? Artwork is quite a pronounced feature on this route. Various stations have different artworks from children at local schools, and all these have actually been taken as photographs and put in as they were on the station, which is quite a cool feature. There's all sorts of little plaques and stuff as well. So East Midland Trains Best Station Awards in 2014 was awarded to Watsonwell. I think it was the day it was raining that day when Mark came here as well. I remember him saying he got a bit wet. There's another sign as well. But yeah, there's all sorts of bits and pieces. Again, each station's got their own little quirks and features. It's a shame that assets you create in the track section, such as tracks and loss etc., can't be scaled. That is basically because they've got to be a set size, so you can't rescale stuff like signals and stuff like that. They have to be, they're a set size because they're like an operating thing. Obviously, for tracks, you'd have to go for a narrow gauge track and stuff like that. Lofts you can't scale either; they'd have to be built as to the specific size needed. But yeah, trees and stuff like that and other clutter you can scale. You changed it from default straight to a 90-degree turn. I assume you mean like sort of like snapping it into a section and you can turn it and rotate it. I'm not overly sure what you mean there, to be fair, Dean. Not sorry, Dean. Who was on about there? Sorry. Spock's beard, sorry. Got the Homestead Cottage. Kimberley Ale. You've got the aqueduct coming up as well. Bloke's reading his paper. Lovely scenes. So yes, the High Peak Trail is there. That's literally where the start of it is. You can see the extent of the climb. A little small bit of track that's left in there. The original route came down here and around this bend, came around here, and then joined onto the actual line here. So there was a junction here where it all joined up. If you look on old historic railway maps online, you can see it all. It's quite impressive. You get the DRS Class 20 Farewell Rail scenario from the JT20 pack. You updated to the latest version. You've got the latest versions now with the JT packs. There's loads being updated. Yes, there was a lot of updates we pushed out a couple of weeks ago. We spent like a good week or so doing loads of updates and stuff that we was ready for pushing out. So you did get a lot of emails if you have the products. So there's all sorts of bits and pieces. A lot of scenario fixes that went out. Another big one was the service pack from the Met line. Obviously you'll get the Sheffield Derby and MML range of updates coming soon, so that'll be another big major update that'll come out. Right, we're coming to Cromford. Are there any hidden things to find in the JT route? Yeah, there's Easter eggs. There's definitely Easter eggs out there. You've just got to look. You may see odd times that we may sneakily show stuff, not pointing them out in the stream, but you may see them. I'm not going to point them out to you. It's more fun for letting people find them and guess themselves. But there is bits and pieces in all our products. We do always add little bits in. We've been working on one for the South Western Expressways route, which will be quite a funny one. Not going to obviously say what it is, but when it comes out, you just have to look. Sorry about that, Spock's beard. Some things are always harder to explain by text rather than like physically like speech and showing. I do apologise. I mean, we are doing another route building stream next week, so if you see us doing it and that, and I can point it out, it'll be one of these things I'll know by like doing it. It's one of the things we sort of like do. Again, there's all sorts of bits of pieces here, little plaques and stuff. Fun fact, that building appears on an Oasis album, which I didn't know about actually until we came to do one of our promo streams for the route release. Someone pointed it out to us. But if you look on the I can't remember which one it is, but there's an Oasis album that has that building on it. Train Simulator enthusiast, good evening. So you had a update for the Western Main Lines route. Would I now have the latest common assets library? I'm led to believe that whenever a route update goes out, the latest common library gets added in. Next up is Matlock Bath. So you would change here for the Heights of Abraham cable cars, which are in the route as well, so we can show you that. We're a couple of stations now to the end of the run and the line. Not a problem, Spox. Hopefully we'll get it, we'll figure it out, and then I'll know what you mean. But again, I do apologise. So again, for anyone that's new to the stream, if you're coming from Facebook, you haven't really been on the streams before, we stream every Monday, 7:30. And we'll be streaming again over the coming weeks on YouTube, Facebook and Twitch. So at the minute it's a bit of a trial just to see how well they go. But we do hope that they are a big hit over at the other platforms on the social media and stuff like that, so that we can keep going in future. It's 10 over the crossing here. Just curious, as previously it has been said that the MML has the latest common library. MML will have one of the routes will be the ones that have the most updated common library. Metline I think will now as well, because that's had an update. So when we push an update out, that's when the new common library goes in. So MML will be going out quite soon once the builds are made, and that will have a new up-to-date common library in it. Connecting the end of two separate pieces of track without using crossovers seems to be impossible. There should be just a link button that does it instantly. It is, I know it's very hard. I'm not a professional track lane. It's Mark that does all the track lane side of things, but it is quite hard unless you try and make it joining off a crossover and sort of snap it in that way. You can sometimes get it to work. You just got to be really, really precise and hope that your gradients meet each other, and sometimes they do actually connect. So again, going on to different quirks of stations, this one is rather interesting in its design. They do class this as Little Switzerland as well. You can just tell the Swiss nature of the building design. You see the cable cars as well, dominating the scene in the background there. So we've got the little terminal down here. This is the Heights of Abraham. There's one of the little. There's a guy sat in one of them. Might be further up. There, he's up there. Just peering out the window. You see the tunnels down here as well. Very well, Hillbilly. Hope you're well as well, mate. So last and final stop is Matlock, which will bring us to a close of this evening's stream as well. Don't forget, everything you see in this evening you can pick up on the website. You'll see that obviously Just Trains is Sheffield to Derby Midland Main Line is the base route, so you do need that for the extensions you've seen this evening, which are DNL, Derby Nottingham Leicester and Derwent. To work. Also, you've seen this evening the Voyager Advanced. Again, don't forget that's on offer till this Friday at 5 PM. $14.99, down from $21.99. Most luckiest guy in TS. We said that we'd like to come here and actually have a day out here when everything settles down and we can actually go out and do stuff again. Sort of like have a go on the cable cars and stuff, and just have a day out in the area that we've built. Mark did the research for this route and he couldn't get on the cable cars because they were doing work. I think they were working on them or something like that. It was all shut down anyway when he came, so he didn't get to go on them. So Matlock is where you would change over to the Peak Rail heritage route. There's only a small section of it included on this route, but again, you can run AI in and out of here if you wish to do so in your own scenarios. Should anything be run on the day that you would base a scenario from. Again, a lovely place as well. Quite an interesting little building. I'll just open my doors and I'll just pause the game for a second there so it doesn't end. Shield, thank you very much for the host there, mate. Much appreciated. A little shop there as well. They built the cable car towers using a helicopter to lift the section into place. That's quite interesting. Didn't know that. I'm going to have a look now and see if I can find anything online. Got the bus station there as well, and also car parks. Again, you've got the old platform for the heritage trains on the older signs there as well. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this week's stream. Yeah, very well, thank you, Chris. I hope you're keeping well. We'll be back again next Monday, guys. It'll be the route building on the South Western Expressways route. So, if it interests you about real route building and stuff, and you want to find out some more and how we do things, do come along. Quite an informative stream. Talk you through the process whilst we're building stuff. Again, we did it a few weeks ago and it was quite a hit, and it was it seemed to go down quite well with everyone. So we're going to do another one of them, and we'll be working east of Bedwin, I would have thought at that point, because I'm getting past there now. Yeah, it'll be South Western Expressways, Chris, definitely. So again, thank you everyone for watching, and don't forget we'll be on Twitch, YouTube and Facebook again next week. If you want to watch back, you'll be able to watch back on all formats. The only one that will go eventually will be Twitch, but that stays there for a couple of weeks. But everything should be there to find. Thank you ever so much, guys. Take it easy. Enjoy the week, and don't forget the products are there to grab and enjoy if you wish to do so. Have a good week, guys, and see you later on.